Black Box Productions.
Ignorantly trying to articulate a proper reason for treating his firstborn the way he does, and it just shows the real contents of his character. On my mama. The only reason why that part of his character gets me so enthralled at this moment is because we have another one of these type of dudes at the forefront. And someone that even Curtisha, when this dude found himself in the middle of this situation, and I'm talking about T.I. issue, Clifford, no secret. When he found himself in the middle of this situation, Curtis attempting to be the person that he saw in me from day one when he said, I see me again, which he saw something similar because we don't do this. This is what he did. He was the one, and he desired to be the only one bold enough to make music dissing T.I. for telling. And he did it. Then he turned around as he went on the interview circuits and they were asking him about it. He doubled down, bit his tongue, retracted, and pussyfooted him. No, I wasn't talking about him. And then now he's friends with T.I. too. This is what these dudes do with their modes, with their morals and their character. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not the one saying G-code. I live by the G-code. I've been let y'all know. I ain't been active in a long time. I am familiar with what the G-code is. I'm with it. If we're saying the G-code is over, and it don't have to be we. I understand what the institution that I was invested in is over. Not only do I not actively involve myself in it, the people that are considering themselves active are currently making peace with arch enemies that we have been in bloodshed for over decades. So the energy that the people that I'm affiliated with is on out of the G-code as well. I salute that. I have young men I'm raising, and I've been a coach. I have no young person in this world that I would advise to, there's this thing called the G-code, and this is where you should be headed, right? But let me tell you the worst thing you can do. Y'all be all on my head, all on Clifford nuts, like, he trying to act the G-code. What he supposed to do? Disrespect the hold on to the G-code and not go tell for his brother, his homeboy, and for the homeboy mama and all that. You stupid. He got too much to lose. Hey, fine. So why does not he say that? The most dangerous thing you can do is to set him up in front of our youth as an example of positivity and honesty and integrity. And then we saw what he came out like everybody else. I'm from the gutter, rubber man, burn it down, up the world. I don't give a uck, I'll shoot you. We gangsters, we G-code. What? That's how his whole legacy was established. Okay, you've gotten a new light, you're more mature, you're moving on. You're not trying to push that so much no more. Understandable, totally. But the most dangerous thing you can let a snake sit up and do is get in a situation where everything was risked. Then that's when he decided the G-code. He threw it away at that moment, y'all. Okay, you decided that. You had too much to lose. It wasn't worth it. This should be your message post that experience. Don't sit up in interviews now and let the youth hear you say, I stick to the G-code. I stick to the G-code. And they know what the G-code is. And now you got them thinking, hey, so now it's a good way to stick to the G-code and end up in a positive position. He was faced with everything that the game got to give you, and that's life, money gone, freedom gone. He was up against the wall, and he stuck to the G-code, not the bullshit version he's speaking on. He's telling people he stuck to the G-code throughout that process and came out smelling like new money with his millions and on top of the game. That's somebody that has sold their soul that's going to sit up to our youth and tell them that's the way he made it to the top, by sticking to the G-code. He a fucking lie. I'm going to tell the youth, guess what? The G-code got me in the midst of the struggle at the same level I currently am right now. My family is not out asking nobody for nothing. We got what we need. But when you want to just talk about accumulated wealth and status, I can attribute the G-code perhaps to some of the stagnation that I am experiencing. And I can tell that to the youth. I cannot tell no young people that there's a way to go through the G-code and end up looking like T.I., smelling like new money. No, because the people that stick to the G-code are the people that are doing life and that are disgusted by that type of activity. And this is why, as a person that is affiliated with the G-code, that got family doing life due to the G-code, it irritates me to death to see an individual trying to be a civil rights activist and then right in front of your eyes lying about how he reached the position he's in. And then Killer Mike, and look, just check him out. Look how he this is deep, y'all, because this is how he talks about himself. Look how Clifford describes himself and his partner, Killer Mike. Check me out.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage.
So
Back to the
I
hood
don't think they
neighborhood.
care enough about him.
He cannot go back to the hood after
witness
snitching?
protection.
Yeah.
yes, he can. That's
After
what you don't
snitching?
understand. Yeah, man.
How?
It's a bunch of rats walking around right now, and that's the
What?
thing. And that's the thing that really hurt. That would really hurt. They riding around with somebody who they know done told in they hood right now. Just because, well, he tell on me. You know what I'm saying? It cat could come home and throw parties, and the party be popping. It be full.
Right.
So if motherfuckers wasn't fucking with rats, how in the hell is this party so packed?
Yeah.
And everybody know how Cuz came home. Everybody know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
Back to the
I
hood.
don't think they
Along with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom, she was very strategic before she came out with the press conference about who she wanted there and the messaging that she wanted to get across. And therefore, she brought in Atlanta natives, rapper T.I. and also Killer Mike, both of these men, businessmen in our communities as well, in the place where they were born and raised. Let's listen now to that sound from earlier from T.I. and Killer Mike.
Atlanta is the place where people like me, Killer Mike, other artists, creatives, other people who come from our culture, and other people who rise up out of the wreckage of the struggle that we all experience just by being born a certain color in this country. But Atlanta is a place where we can set an example of prosperity, and we've done that for generations. People like Dr. King, Maynard Jackson, Ambassador Young have paved the way for us. And when everything else goes away, when you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it. However, I understand that a lot of others do. But we can't do this here. This is Wakanda. It's sacred. It must be protected.
On my mama, you see who's standing right next to him. So he shouldn't be talking about it hurts him. He said it hurts him, y'all. This is the devil speaking. This is a snake. Listen to me. A lot of y'all talking about he didn't point out his partner or point out partner that did whatever. Check me out. He was on the prosecution team. He knows what this is. He was a prosecution. You know what the term on behalf of? When you stand up in the court, when you go to court, your lawyer tells the judge, Judge, I am here on behalf of so-and-so defendant, you, Spotter Loke, Curtis Williams. I am here on behalf of him. The prosecutor is there on behalf of the state, the team that is attempting to put the people that killed Clifford's partner in jail, so be it. That's who the prosecutor is in court on behalf of. Clifford, as a prosecution's witness, is there on behalf of the prosecution. Everything he said was to lend aid to the prosecution achieving victory, acquiring a conviction. If I remember correctly, Clifford attempting to stick to the G-code held out for quite some time, perhaps to the tune of 2 years. And they couldn't even go forward with the case successfully. They held out until he found himself in a pinch, trying to stick to the G-code, buying all the burners. And then all of a sudden, there was negotiations to the point where he was willing to testify, and he was handed an experimental sentence. This is what the federal government termed the sentence that they handed down to T.I. issue. I happen to be someone who was around that remembers. And y'all mad at me because I know the factuals, and I'm not going to allow this dude to get up in front of the world and represent me and act like Atlanta is sacred to the rest of you. Know how selfish that is? Oh, me and Killer Mike, what we built over here, and it did something for us and all that. Guess what? It'll burn too. That's like Lot's wife. Don't look back. On my mama. We can't all come and hang out with y'all and rebuild in Atlanta. Ain't no room for all of us. So we're telling America, if they can't do the example, the whole thing get it. That's why we ain't got no room for no double messages and all that. I'm not trying to be a voice come out and just be disgruntled against what y'all trying to say. They such positive figures. No, they don't even believe in what they up there saying. And in a time of war, the worst thing you can have is an unsure leader confusing the message. I'm not no fool. If there are 5,000 black women owners who need their property protected, by all due means, dispatch the troops, get on the streets, get your hands dirty, or get them clean, keep them clean. The Underground Railroad is there for that. Don't get out here on the airways because of your special interest and cloud the message when the whole world is saying the same thing, is enough. As if we're obligated to respond to senseless murder with any kind of poise. The repetitive, senseless murder of our people by this nation. Once again, y'all can complain, but you better do it right. And then, if it all gotta go, it all gotta go. Or you could burn with it if you love it that much. That's what happened when you get too much. On my mama. It ain't how it's done. I just got a different approach. But listen how she say it. On my mama.
We be so full of ego sometimes that we stun our own progress. I might not agree with everything, but never will I ever condemn our people for rioting. I don't know why people acting like rioting is so foreign, as if rioting and violence isn't the American way. Y'all just think about how this country came into existence. I mean, just earlier this year, we were about to go into World War III. You know those gang-affiliated people we love talking mess about? Some of them been on the yard, been in riots, and know how to make deadly weapons out of ordinary objects. But we so ego-filled that we condemn people who could be powerful pieces in the movement. We condemn people that aren't doing the same things that we might be doing. Know that all the pieces on the chessboard are not the same. Knights, bishops, and rooks all move differently, and even pawns have potential to become queens. Instead of us being extremely critical and judging what everyone else is doing, let's be understanding and see how we can put our anger and rage to good use.
Factuals, and don't get up in front of the giant platform and speak while we are engaged in war. And you have an uncertain message. What is that? Getting up there, Killer Mike said, I'm mad. That is so juvenile, adolescent. Can you imagine Vladimir Putin? That's type of characteristics we see in Trump that we don't appreciate. Those type of lack of emotional control, and he still is more poised than that when it's time for war. We don't need that. We are fully engaged. We are not about to go. We're not on the precipice. You don't get up in the front of the world and say, hey, if that is our most strategic move, you don't announce it. Now, you see they putting out all the conspiracy theories saying, and I'm not saying conspiracy theories to say that's bad. It might be real. You see, they saying it's a lot of people who are not with the cause going in our communities trying to ignite and make it look like. Now, if you let them know this sacred area, you announce it to the world. Goofy. If you don't know what to say, don't say nothing. Those of us that are speaking on these issues publicly and not saying stop, are not saying, hey, everything we see is a great idea. What we are saying is we stand in solidarity with the message that what we have experienced is so senseless that we now understand, and there's nothing more senseless that you can imagine seeing than what we have had to tolerate. And that's what our silence says. It doesn't have to make sense at this point, because nothing we undergo makes sense. The only thing that makes sense to you is your investments have harvest, and now you have more than you started with. A lot of y'all over there, we all can't come. It ain't enough to share. So your message need to be is, your message of sacrifice need to be to America. If y'all ain't got enough for all of us, then everything gotta go. You ever heard of a term called burn the ships? When you're really committed to the cause, sometimes it's time to burn the ships. If I can't have it, she can't either. Yeah. And if that ain't your full message, this is not the platform to articulate that. All you doing is making yourself obvious as a target for those that's trying to infiltrate to come slide up under you and fatten your pockets some more. On my mama. I ain't sleep on it. Anybody don't like what I'm saying could beat it. Go listen to some more of that. You so impressed with how many statistics these niggas done memorize, how well they can articulate the blacks' history. All that is sitting in the laps of luxury, like he told you over there. They eating a whole lot. If you want to make I ain't even on his head for making the Wakanda parallel like everybody else. Because I know when you're an MC, you speak metaphorically a lot of times when your point is really as practical as you would want it to be. And sometimes you don't realize that people not listening to your natural artistic type of speaking. So I ain't hating on you with the Wakanda. But if you're going to speak on Wakanda is sit up. Which one of them leaders was up there? They was squabbling to the death. Violently. It didn't have to make sense. When I was watching it, I didn't understand why the whole place didn't jump in and help the one they was rocking with. It's 1,000,000 to 1. But didn't nobody say nothing. They held their peace. Oh, my mama. I know I speak different. But I ain't saying nothing that beautiful black Nubian woman Erica Lashai didn't just say.
Like I said, bro, I'm not even a guy to come on here, bro. I don't even come on here. I don't talk about politics. I'm not even like that, bro. Y'all know me. I like to have fun. I'm not even one of those guys, bro. But this is just stupid, bro. If anybody is a celebrity, bro, stop using your platform to come up here and say anything that's against what the people in the streets are saying. If you're not out there, bro, if you're not out there protesting and marching with these people all day without your fucking security, my nigga, and without the other extra shit, my nigga, then you shouldn't be talking, bro. You shouldn't have a voice in this. And until you go out and do that, until you go out and study, until you go out and really understand what the fuck is going on out here in our community, bro, just get off Twitter. Talk to your PR, ask your PR what you should say, or something, bro. Something. What's up, shorty? What's up? Hi, hello, how you doing? Hello! Hi. Yes, we are talking about you, shorty. Shine over the...
Oh, my mama. I didn't even know he was finna put it all on her. I thought I had got too long a clip, and he was like addressing somebody in the, my bad. But including her though, on my mama, my message echoes those of those two individuals. I may have a different level of decibel, a different level of passion, a few different words I choose. I might be more pointed. He chose to point his message directly to the female. That's not my style. I know his name. I know he popping. But for the most part, I'm saying what he's saying. And I ain't even finna go like, ain't no music today. It is what it is. I didn't really plan on this shaping up exactly how it's shaped. But I'm kind of like appreciating the way it developed right up into this point. So as we... from this point on, I'ma just keep it in this tone. Good looking, RL. On my mama. Something else on the same subject I would like to appreciate at the moment. They rather arrest hundreds, if not thousands of American citizens than 3 of their own. Very telling. This is why. Listen to me. That man right there predicted the whole 1992 riots on record. 1990, 1991, and 1992, prior to it happening, his whole movement was saying this is what's gonna happen. We will burn it down. Wop, 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 whoop, whoop, wop, wop. And if you understand, this is that he raised me. On my mama give me pork pops. Dead Lokes. Pops wasn't in the house, so if you're talking about figure of masculinity with a message that helped shape a lot of my thoughts in that area, it was through the headphone like this in class, through the sleeve, listening to that. I get his tape, go steal it at the music store. On my mama 3 days, I know the whole tape by heart on accident. So I actually know what he really thinks about a whole lot of what's going on right now. But once again, the war room is for those conversations. You don't get on these public platforms and speak your mind. That can be one extreme. And I also know, if you know how he's one of those like T.I. and Killer Mike, as far as I have established and I have over here. You don't see him up here like, oh, Hollywood has been good to us. Wakanda ain't the only place where black people done ate. Hollywood done fed black people for years. Beverly Hills, from the Bill Cosbys to the Suge Knights, to the Eddie Murphys, to the Denzel Washingtons, to the Magic Johnsons, the Kobe Bryants. We got clusters over here. And ain't none of the people on that level hollering out, talking about please, please, please. On my mama. I salute what he say. How dare a country and a president start speaking about violence upon its citizens when the looting start. But when Ahmaud Arbery is murdered, this man had the nerve, the audacity to say, I would like to see, we looked at the tape, but we don't know what's not on tape. Yo, that's the setup right there. He letting the lawyers that's going to be representing that man know right now, get your story together. On my mama. We not finna expose our play. We going to expose they play. You got something to protect in the black communities? Get out there. Get your soldiers. You got all this money, all this influence. You done went from the rubber band man to the man with understanding, and y'all all solid. You and Killer Mike. Y'all should have some influence in the streets where you can mount up with some solid brothers and get out there and actively, through love, show protection to them sisters' properties. And not get up here crying, I don't even want to be here, I'm mad. We don't need that. We reject your deposit. Running around with a snitch, scared to come out the closet. If you want to redeem yourself, Clipper, keep it real. Everybody getting at me on the issue, please, let's make a plea for dude to upload that 45-minute testimony of him speaking on that situation that he did not snitch on, according to him. Since you stuck to the G-code, you want to challenge the world, you throw that case number out and ramble it off all the time, tell people where they can go find it. You uplift it. You the one that had it, got it took down off the internet. You ain't off the hook. Since you want to keep standing up and get up in front of the people and represent something that you are not, we going to keep speaking about what you are then. You want us off your head? Fall back, use some of them dollars to fund the movement. Somebody with some integrity, since you know you already sold your soul, you trying to buy it back, sit back, use that bread to stand somebody up that has a faultless background, and let them stand up and push an unwavering message with all the good knowledge that you want to be interested in it. Use your dollars. You done went and stole them from the system. Now break bread. Oh, my mama. All you doing is trying to protect your interests. What you look like? What y'all doing with him? Y'all, I mean, as a community, collectively, we buying this? Is this enough? After our very earnest conversation, thank you to Governor Walz for doing what's right and calling in Attorney General Keith Ellison to take over the George Floyd case. Earlier today, Governor Walz mentioned having a human conversation with me, a dad and a black man in pain. I am a human, a father and a black man in pain. And I am not the only one. Now, I, along with an entire country in pain, all upon A.G. Ellison to do the right thing and prosecute all those responsible for the murder of George Floyd to the fullest extent of the law. This is just a first step. I am more determined to fight for justice than any fight my would-be oppressors may have. I prevail on every politician, prosecutor, and officer in the county to have the courage to do what is right. Have the courage to look at us as humans, dads, brothers, sisters, and mothers in pain, and look at yourself. Sean J.Z. Carter. I changed my question into a statement. Damn right we stand with that. This is another point, opportunity to make my point. We have no message for those on our side of the issues right now. Anything we want to say to one another about what's going on is for the war room, the Underground Railroad. Right now, there is a solidified message, a voice that is ringing out, and it all is directed toward the system. We're not anybody that's actively sending a message toward the system. We are not publicly sending messages back and forth to one another that conflict, regardless of what we know about one another, what we're going through. So my message is not to anyone that's on the side of sending a message toward the system, even if I don't necessarily agree with their exact tactic. We are fully engaged. So if I'm going to address anyone publicly, it's going to be someone that is addressing someone that is on our side of the issue, then that means addressing the system. If you're going to address them publicly, indirectly, then you'll get it publicly. Everyone else, we'll deal with everything else later. We're at war right now, and I stand solidified with the fact that that is progress. And like the female said, Erica, it's a chessboard. Everybody doesn't do the same thing. He is affecting what he can affect. We, as a community, are holding him to a level of accountability because, yes, the G-code been thrown out the window. We know the association with the rat at that level of corporate America. But his separation from what we consider the G-code and his public profession to be with the G-code has died so long ago. I am not going to just discredit his ability to redeem himself publicly with his people, even with the way we feel like he spoke about the kneeling. At this point, I am cheering for his efforts to be effective in whatever level they can, because no matter what you feel about him in public, he is one of the most high-profile people we have on our side of the issue at this moment that is making an effort to say anything and not talking to us about what we shouldn't be doing. And I'm going to give him credit for that. On my mama. It's about that time, y'all. You already know how we do it right here. I ain't going to do it the exact way just because the energy of everything. I think we kind of did it like this last time. We waked and baked. So I'm gonna just keep it like this. Much love. Love y'all, my mama. Rest in peace to George Floyd. All those that came before him. We at war, those that are soon to come. On my mama.
Doing that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.